If you are thinking of selling your home in the next 6 to 8 months, picking the right timing for the sale of your house could be one of the biggest financial decisions that you make in years. Also, choosing the wrong time can not only cost you months on the market, but also tens of thousands of dollars of equity. Today we're going to discuss pros and cons of selling in winter versus waiting until spring. Also highlighting specific properties and neighborhoods in Kamloops of homeowners who should sell now or wait until the snow is gone. Before we get started, I'm Scott McDowell with the Kamloops Home Team. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more market updates and real-world advice. My team and I are helping out homeowners just like you figure out whether selling this winter could mean more money in your pocket or if it's better to wait until spring and if that makes a little bit more sense. So if you're planning to make a move, all of our contact information is in the description below. So without further ado, let's start with the pros of selling in winter. Number one is less competition. Winter is when the market tends to thin out. Most sellers pull their house off the market or tend to hold off until the springtime. This means less competition and when inventory drops, serious buyers actually have fewer options. So if your home is priced right and it shows well, it can really stand out at this time of year. Number two, serious buyers only. Buyers who are out shopping in the middle of winter are not only browsing, they are motivated. They're usually relocating for work or have already sold their house or need to buy for some family reasons. These tend to be the buyers who have to make a move, not the ones who are just looking around to see what's out there. Number three, selling in winter is a faster, smoother process. Because there's fewer listings and fewer casual buyers out there, things tend to move a whole lot faster. The lawyers, the inspectors, and the appraisers are often less backed up, which can mean that your deal can move a whole lot more smoothly than it can in the springtime. One bonus advantage of selling in winter is that buyers who are relocating to Kamloops often are coming from other markets like Vancouver, Kelowna, or Alberta, and those people don't always wait until spring. So if your home is on the market right now, you might actually catch those out-of-town buyers while there's very little local competition. Now let's talk about the cons of selling in the wintertime. Let's be honest, the homes don't always show their best. There's no way around it. It's darker, it's colder, the yard usually is covered in snow, the curb appeal takes a little bit of a hit, and buyers can't really truly appreciate your landscaping, your backyard, or potential pool or anything else like that. And that first impression can be tougher to recreate. Number two, there are fewer buyers overall. Even though the winter buyers tend to be a whole lot more serious, there can definitely be a whole lot few buyers in the wintertime compared to the springtime. Some people don't want to shop for homes when it's minus 10 or snowing outside. So that does mean fewer showings and possibly a little bit more patience before you can get the right offer. Number three, it can be harder to move. Let's be honest, nobody really wants to move their furniture through the snow or worry about the icy roads for their moving day. So that's one reason buyers tend to wait until the spring market for when the moving is a whole lot easier. Now that being said, somebody who is selling over the wintertime may necessarily not be moving in the wintertime. They might be moving a little bit more extended period out. So you do tend to have 2 weeks for a condition phase, but you can set your completion and position a little bit further on and a little bit further into the future when the temperature does warm up. So let's talk about the pros of waiting until spring. Obviously, number one, the home shows better. This one's quite obvious. The grass is green, the skies are blue, there's more daylight hours, helping your home look its absolute best in the photos and also in person. That emotional connection is stronger where buyers can see themselves in the home, playing in the yard, playing with their kids, hosting barbecues, and so much more, which can often lead to offers. Number two, there are more buyers in the market. Spring is when everybody comes out of hibernation. Families want to move before the summertime, investors start to get active again, the downsizers come back to the market, and the overall market activity level jumps. This can lead to faster sales and more competition between buyers. Number three, higher sales prices in certain markets. Historically, this spring does tend to bring some stronger sales prices. A lot of that is because the surge of demand that is coming off of the wintertime. And that's especially true if the interest rates have stabilized or if they've dropped. Now, a lot of it does depend on consumer confidence. If you've run into what happened over the past year here in 2025, there was quite a bit of a drop of consumer confidence with the tariffs, with the election, things like that started in springtime. And we really truly didn't see the true effect of a normal spring that we have seen in past years. So definitely be aware of what's going on with consumer confidence, what is going on in the world, and just overall confidence in the market. Now let's talk about the cons of waiting until spring. Number one, there is more competition. This is when everybody decides to list. So everybody decides to list at once, the inventory spikes. Suddenly your home is just one of dozens of homes competing for attention for the same kind of buyers. Now this can mean price reductions or sitting on the market a little bit longer than expected. Number two, buyers can get overwhelmed. Ironically, when there's too much to choose from, buyers become a little bit more picky. and your home has to stand out from all the competition, otherwise it can be overlooked even if it is a great property. So one thing that we have found over the past couple of years here, especially since the COVID rush, is that the first couple of months of the year can actually be the best time to hit the market. It's still quite low inventory and buyers are excited to get out, which can bring a little bit of an uptick of offers and multiple offers before the spring rush. So a great example is this past year here, we were dealing with a couple different properties out in the west side area. Earlier on in the spring for single family homes, there was actually about 12 or 13 single family homes in the early season there. We saw a lot of multiple offers, we saw a lot of interest and a lot of activity in that market. A little bit later on in spring, that actually tripled to 39 active listings, and the listings, the showings, everything did slow up during that time. So which properties should consider listing now or early in the new year? And which properties should wait until springtime? There are so many different factors and nuances for every single seller and every property, but in general, these properties are the ones that can be good to sell now and others should really wait until later. First up, who should consider selling over the winter time? Now, keep in mind winter could mean November and December, but also could be earlier in the new year in January and February. If you are getting closer to the holidays and you don't have an immediate motivation to sell, hitting the market in January might be the best option for you. Number 1, houses with suites. Due to lack of affordability, houses with suites can be one of the most insulated seasonal properties in Kamloops. There's always a very strong demand for these type of properties throughout the city, as many investors are looking for these properties, people looking to make a move up from a townhouse or a condo, first-time home buyers. There's so many different type of buyers that these type of properties are always in high demand, doesn't matter what time of year it is. Number 2, a house with a shop. Very much like a home with a suite, there are very few homes on the market that have such a high demand in winter, spring, or summer than a house with a shop. Especially in high demand areas that tend not to have very many detached shops like Aberdeen, Juniper, and Batch, the shop lover is not going to want to wait till the snow melts. They're looking to take action for a great house as soon as it hits the market. Number 3, condos or townhouses. These low maintenance homes tend to benefit the least amount from the grass being green, the flowers blooming, and the sun shining in the spring market. The one caveat with this is the downsizer market or the more mature buyer tends to wait a little bit more closer to spring in order to move. So it might benefit to list your house a little bit closer in later winter, like the January, the February, for a little bit closer to a spring possession. And my number 1 property or opportunity for somebody who's going to list in the winter time is if you have extremely low inventory or no active inventory in your area. So like I mentioned before, listing in Westside last year in the earlier part of the year when there's only 13 single family homes, we're talking from 500,000 to 2 million, only 13 single family homes in Westside. That was a great opportunity for somebody to list their house and benefit from a very low inventory, still fairly high demand market at that time. At that same time, back up in Aberdeen, there was less than 6 houses for sale at the start of the year because a lot of people were waiting until the snow was gone and waiting until springtime. If you can take advantage when there's very low inventory for your pocket, for your area, for your type of home, whether it be a single family home, townhouse, apartment, definitely take advantage of those opportunities. Lastly, let's talk about who should consider waiting until spring or when the snow is gone. Number 1 is the house that has lots of value with their yard. Whether it's a completely dialed garden, high street appeal, an amazing backyard, or possibly a house with a pool. What you really want to do is to maximize your value is create an opportunity that the buyer sees himself in your space. Whether they're throwing the most epic barbecue, hosting family and friends by the poolside, what you really want to do is appeal to the emotions of a buyer. If you appeal to the emotions, they see themselves in your space, that's going to get you that offer and that's going to get you that higher offer. The number 2 property that should wait until spring if they can is a home that's up in a higher elevation with a steeper driveway. First impressions are everything, so if you have to walk up a steep, icy, snowy driveway in the middle of wintertime, it can definitely distract from any benefit of anything that is inside the house. And as we head into the warmer weather, the buyers tend to forget a little bit more about the shoveling and the ice, so it might be better if you can wait until spring or the summertime. Number 3, if you are on the south side of Kamloops, backing onto the hillside. So areas like Juniper up along Skeena there where they're backing onto the hillside and the trees. Out in Dallas and Valley View, you're backing onto the Hoodoos. In these areas, you actually have no sunshine in the middle of winter time. So as a buyer's touring the house in the middle of the afternoon on a weekend, they're going to walk through the house and they're going to see that there's no sunshine and they're really going to be a little bit more distracted by the fact that it's going to be dark and a little bit colder during the winter time. So maybe it might be best for you if you have one of these homes, maybe wait until spring or the summertime when it's light, it's bright, the sun is shining. People start thinking a little bit less about the about the sunshine in the wintertime. And especially if you're coming up against an inexperienced agent in the summer and spring, they're not going to point out to a prospective buyer some of the complications that your home might have over the wintertime. So what is the best choice? If you have a well-kept home and you want to stand out in a slower market, winter might be a smart time for you to sell. But if your home relies heavily on curb appeal, like a big backyard, a pool, or a stunning landscaping, spring might be worth the wait. Either way, the key is knowing what type of market you're stepping into. If you're curious about how your home might perform in today's market versus waiting until spring, reach out to me anytime. My team and I will run a market analysis specific to your neighborhood and help you make the best of your move and your goals. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.